Hey, fourth grade, welcome back to another week of our virtual learning. And I know you can see we have our fraction anchor chart behind me because, yes, again, we're going to be working on some fractions. So, first, grab your paper, grab your pencil or pen since you're home virtually learning, and then we can get started. I'll give you a minute to do so. 2 weeks ago, we started learning how to compare and order fractions. Our first step was compare and order fractions using fraction strips. That was the beginner step. Our second step was comparing and ordering fractions using multiplication or equivalency. This week, we're going to be learning how to compare and order fractions using cross multiplication or the butterfly effect. So, are you guys ready? Let's get into it. Oh, wait, before we get into it, I almost forgot to review. So, our review has been looking kind of different because every week I've been reviewing the same things. So, I'll pretty much let you guys review and I won't go over the anchor chart anymore, but the anchor chart will always be in my videos or behind me so you guys can always see it. So, as always, the definition of our fractions is a number that is part of a whole or a number that is part of a group. Now, I'll let you guys say it. Say it at home. Go ahead. Yes, fractions are a number that is part of a whole or a number that is part of a group. Yes, great. Now we can jump into our cross multiplication. Here, we'll be comparing 2/3 and 5/8. And we'll be comparing these two fractions to see which one is greater. Come on. So, the first thing we want to do when we look at our two fractions and see that the denominators are not common is what? Yes, give them a common denominator. So the way we are going to give these two fractions a common denominator is multiply the two fractions by each other. So what we're going to do is multiply 3 times 8. I'm going to put a little multiplication sign in the middle right there. And 3 times 8 is what? 24, yes. So that's our new denominator, 24. So now I'm going to put 24 right here at the bottom. And I'm also going to put 24 over here at the bottom. That's our common denominator for both of our fractions. So now this is where our cross multiplication or the butterfly effect comes into play. Now that we have our common denominator, we're going to take 2 and 8 and multiply them times each other. Now, 2 times 8 is what? 16. Yes, 16. Now, we'll be putting our 16 right here. Now, we're going to take 3 and 5 and multiply those two by each other. As you can see, I'm drawing circles around the two numbers that I'll be multiplying together just for a little bit more clarification so I won't be confused. So now I'll be multiplying 3 times 5. And 3 times 5 is what? 15. Yes, it's 15. I'll add the 15 right there. So when we take a look at our fraction problems, we can see that when we cross multiply and circle the fractions around each other, that this is where we get the butterfly name from. It creates a butterfly when we cross multiply. But back to our math. Now, looking at our two fractions, our new fractions at the bottom, 16 over 24 and 15 over 24. Which one is bigger? 16, yes, 16 is bigger. So, 16 over 24 is greater than 15 over 24. But always remember, we go back to our original fraction. So that means 2/3 is greater than 5/8. And that's how you cross multiply. This time, we'll be working with 5/6 over 8/10. Now, taking a look at this one, what is our first step? Yes, to find a common denominator. Our first step is always to find a common denominator if the denominators are not common. And as I just taught you, to find our common denominator will simply be just multiplying both of the denominators by each other. So that means we'll be multiplying 6 times 10. And 6 times 10 is what? 60, yes. So we just found our new denominator. So our new denominator would be 60. So I'm just going to add 60 underneath both of these fractions. Now, cross multiply. We're going to do 5 times 10. And 5 times 10 is what, guys? 50. Yes, 5 times 10 is 50. So now we're going to add 50. And then we're going to multiply our second two. Oops. And this time, 5 times 8. And 5 times 8 is what? 48. Yes, 48. So, which number is greater? 50. Yes, 50 is greater than 48. So, that means that 5/6 is greater than 8/10. You guys are getting the hang of this pretty fast. Okay, we're just going to try one more, and then I'm going to send you guys off on your own to do it. This time we'll be comparing 2 7s and 3 11s. We'll be comparing these two fractions to see which one is bigger. Now, as always, we start by getting our common denominator, right? How we're going to find a common denominator? Yes, we're going to find the common denominator by multiplying the 7 times 11. And 7 times 11 is what? 77. Yes, guys. So now that we have our common denominator, let's get down to our cross multiplication. Now we're going to multiply 2 times 11. And 2 times 11 is what? 22. Yes, now we're going to add our 22 over our 77. And now we're going to go and multiply 3 times 7. And 3 times 7 is, look at that beautiful butterfly. 3 times 7 is 21. Yes. So now let's compare our fractions. 22 is greater than 21. So our sign looks like this. But remember, when you compare the fractions, you always compare your original fractions. So that means 2 7s is greater than 3 11s. Wow. All right, we have just learned how to cross multiply. Now, that to me seems like the easiest way to order and compare fractions. So I want you guys, after the video and after you've worked on this sum, let me know which way is easiest for you. And also, if you can't see it in the back, I have 1/2 and 3/5. I also want you guys to compare 1/2 and 3/5 and tell me which one is bigger. Don't forget, because this will also be your exit ticket on Friday. So I need you guys to compare 1/2 and 3/5 and let me know which fraction is bigger. I'll also be reminding you guys on Friday. Again, we have just learned how to compare and order fractions using cross multiplication or the butterfly method. I hope you all had a great time learning today, and I will see you again next week. Later.